Hello and welcome to PSH Usapang Presyon Podcast, the podcast where we break down the latest in updates and issues on hypertension and blood pressure management. I'm Dr. Mark Denver Chongson, also short for Denver, and currently the chair of the PHA Council on Hypertension, as well as the treasurer and board of trustee of the Philippine Society of Hypertension. Together with me is Doc Bimbo.
Thank you, Dr. Denver. Hello, guys. I am Dr. Alejandro Bimbo Diaz. You may call me Doc Bimbo. I am the current president of the Philippine Society of Hypertension. And today will be our first ever episode of a series of podcasts by the Philippine Society of Hypertension.
Yes.
And at this point, I'd like to thank our secretariat
Yes.
for preparing the necessary tools that we will be able to make this podcast a successful one for the Philippine Society of Hypertension. So today, we're going to talk about a hot topic. Just a few weeks ago, we were all surprised that
Yes, Doc.
the American Heart Association, American College of Cardiology, came out with a new update in
Yes.
from the 2017 guidelines. And I was trying to think that our guidelines, which we did in 2020, Philippine Society of
Yes.
Hypertension, we followed the International Society of Hypertension.
Cutoffs.
And at that time, our cutoff is, you agree, it's 140 over
140
90.
over 90, Doc. Yes, it's either hypertension or not, no? 140 over 90 as our cutoff. If it is less than 140 over 90, you're not considered to be hypertensive. And once you reach the 140 over 90 limit,
Yeah.
high blood na po tayo. Oo.
And immediately, I thought, oh, wow. If the new guidelines has lowered the threshold, which we'll discuss later on,
Yes.
then understandably, the prevalence of hypertension will increase
Definitely.
substantially.
Definitely. Yes.
So let's talk about it.
Okay. So we're really excited for this first podcast ever episode of PSH Usapang Presyon, no? Right now, of course, we're going to tackle that the new cutoffs for hypertension. So for the past decades, Doc Bimbo, no? Most of us, or you, sabi nga natin sa guidelines natin 2020, are accustomed to use the cutoff of 140 over 90 millimeter mercury as the threshold to diagnose patients with hypertension. The 2017 ACC-AHH guidelines started to label patients na hypertension at starting 130 over 80. And again, sabi nyo nga po, recently that has been already adopted even for our European counterparts. Although they label it as elevated blood pressure, not really hypertensive, and even the ISH, what do you think would be the impact of this, Doc Bimbo?
Yeah, actually, Doc Denver, looking back into the 2017 guidelines, which were actually headed by then the chair of the guideline makers, American Heart Association and American College of Cardiology, Professor Welton.
Yes.
They already brought down the threshold to 130 over 80 as
yes.
the new stage 1 hypertension.
Yes.
However, we were not ready to do that because
adapt.
we thought that to be able to do that kind of blood pressure measurement, we really need to do a very strict unattended blood pressure, which was actually carried out in that sprint
Yes.
trial that made them, conclude that we need to bring down the threshold. And at that time, the International Society of Hypertension was not also ready, and yet
adapt
still
that.
they were still, using that 140 over 90
The cutoff.
as the cutoff for hypertension, and even the European Society
Yes.
of Hypertension still followed also the 140 over 90. So then we just followed it
Yes.
until we were caught by surprise initially with the 2024. We both attend the European
Yes,
Society
yes.
of Cardiology, and
Last
last August 2024, we're surprised that they added now a new category of not just treating hypertension per se, but even preventing and treating elevated blood pressure.
Agree.
So, elevated blood pressure and hypertension, pag sa Tagalog, parang mahirap yata gawin yun.
Oo,
no?
sir.
Pareho high blood eh.
It will actually it might create confusion, no?
Correct,
For
correct.
some kasi but it tells us that these patients already na 130 over 80 malilabel sila if we're going to look at the American guidelines as hypertensive, or from the Europeans as having elevated blood pressure. But the question is, and majority of our colleagues, no, cardiologists, neurologists, nephro, primary care providers are always asking this question. If we follow that 130/80, are we medicalizing? Meaning to say, ginagamot ba natin yung traditionally normal pa na blood pressure? Or is this a way for us, knowing that hypertension remains to be the primary and one of the leading causes or risks for adverse cardiovascular events leading to heart attack and stroke and other conditions, are we trying to catch these patients who are at risk already? So the question is it medicalizing the normal, which is somewhat parang aloof yung mga tao na gawin, or we are trying to catch and identify those patients who are at risk already?
Yes. So in fact, if I remember right, Denver, nung una, sabi ko, teka muna, I see quite a number of nag-stroke patients at the emergency room. Parang wala yata akong makikitang risk factor. Kasi hindi naman sa hypertensive by that pressure
by
of
definition,
140, by
yes.
definition at that 140/90. Pero pag tinanong ko yung mga blood pressure, nag-hover mga around 130, 135. So therefore, not hypertensive yet. So, cryptogenic stroke ba ito? Mga ganito.
Para mapapaisip
And
talaga
now,
tayo, Doc, no?
when the American Heart Association and the European Society of Cardiology and even last May, the Hypertension Canada,
Yeah.
talagang nilagay na nila that the new normal blood pressure or non-elevated blood pressure should be below 120 systolic blood pressure, below 70 sa European, and sa American below 80 millimeters of mercury. So pagka ang blood pressure pala is above 120 to 139 or above 80 to 89,
Yes.
hindi na yun normal blood pressure. In fact, kinukonsider nila yon sa elevated blood pressure sa European. Pero tinan mo, from 120 to 139, merong 130 sa gitna.
Yes, yes.
And American Heart Association and Hypertension Canada, yung 130/80, they designated it as the new stage 1 hypertension. So that makes sense.
That's true, Doc. And I agree, no? Kasi even sa ESC, ESH, 130/80 has been also parang their threshold value for trying to initiate treatment, not with pharmacologic per se, but lifestyle interventions.
Correct.
So, Doc, come to think of it, what could have been the basis of this new cutoff? Or their trials na nakita ba natin? As you've mentioned earlier, the sprint trial, no? I think this trial compared patients who were targeted to a BP of less than 120 over less than 80 and then less than 140 over 90. And surprisingly, the trial showed significant benefit for those patients who were targeted in the stricter cutoffs of less than 120 over 80.
I think it's not only just the blood pressure itself, but the other concomitant risk factors, particularly
Yes.
vascular risk factors. Kasi
Yes.
may mga people, may mga tao, may mga pasyente na hindi naman sila 140 over 90, mga 130 over 80, pero may diabetes pala. May, pag tinignan mo yung urine, may albuminuria, tatapon ng
Yes.
protina, meron palang chronic kidney disease na hindi naman nila alam. Pag tinignan mo creatinine na mataas, so ibig sabihin, mayroon na silang risk factor. So this kind of patients, ito yung hindi na pwedeng basta lifestyle modification.
True.
Ito na yung pag hinayaan mo yan na hindi mo ginamot early ang hypertension, talagang tutuloy sila to developing complications of cardiovascular disease and even increased mortality.
Yes, tama kasi, Doc, tama kayo eh. Hypertension has complications from head to foot. Stroke, dementia, visual loss, heart diseases, heart failure, heart attack, peripheral artery disease,
hindi lang yun.
and kidney problem.
Ngayon, pati dementia.
Exactly.
Oh, pati dementia nakita nila yan. Kaya nga ngayon, kung pwede lang, if you are in your midlife, mga 40s, 50s, targetan nyo ng blood pressure na less than 120 systolic blood pressure.
Agree.
Kung ma-maintain nyo yan, then you can do, pag tanda nyo, 70 to 80, you can actually have a blood pressure, lower blood pressure, and less
Chances of dementia.
Kasi nakita nila yan eh.
Oo.
Up to 20% risk reduction of dementia if you maintain a lower blood pressure.
Agree with that, no. So just for our listeners and those who are watching us or joining us in this podcast, just to give a quick summary. Again, we are trying to identify those patients already at 130/80 because we have seen that these patients with these types of blood pressure have already an increased risk for developing multiple complications for adverse cardiovascular events. And once you have reached that quite threshold, no, it's not necessarily, Doc, tama, no, na ititreat naman natin pharmacologically eh. There will always be the role of non-pharmacologic. Sabi nga Doc Bimbo, if you're in your midlife, no, try to target a BP of less than 120/80, over less than 80, by diet and lifestyle. Keep a healthy weight and of course, proper choice of diet.
Of course, I think, alam niyo naman, galing tayo dun sa 3 months natin, 4 months na May measurement.
Yes.
Makita talaga natin, medyo mataas ang proportion ng mga unrecognized. Hindi nila alam, high blood sila. So ngayon, I think it is a part of our mission, ambition, to really help the Filipino people to be able to empower the Filipino people. Matuto silang magkuha ng blood pressure. Siguro magandang discuss natin sa next podcast natin.
Yes, how to properly take blood pressure.
Tamang pagkuha ng blood pressure using a validated na device ng blood pressure. Tuturuan natin kung paano
kasi maraming ways eh. Mamaya, pagod ka, nag-BP ka, tataas ang BP mo eh.
Saka pag-usapan natin, ano bang difference ng white coat hypertension, mass hypertension. Kailangan ituro natin
sa kanila. It's a very good topic na kailangan ma-aware. Kasi may mga patients tayo pupunta sa clinic, doon tumataas. Pero sasabihin nila, Dok, ba't sa bahay normal naman? So I think these are topics that we will discuss in our next episode.
So isa yan sa next di-discuss natin. Tamang pagkuha ng blood pressure, pag-record, ilang beses ba? Anong blood pressure sa office o sa clinic? Anong blood pressure mo sa bahay?
Very important kasi po yun, yung pag-target at pag-measure ng BP when we're trying to control blood pressure. So, going back lang to the topic, no? Again, what's the impact of 130/80? It will help us identify patients who are already at risk and catching these patients, no, who are at risk for developing complications. So, nakafocus na tayo sa kanila. 130/80, mataas na ang BP mo, elevated na yung blood pressure. We have to monitor you frequently for end organ complications. And then for Doc, hindi naman natin sa i-highlight, hindi natin kailangan i-treat agad pharmacologically. What the guidelines are telling us is to individualize therapy. Meaning to say, tama, kailangan nating tingnan yung risk ng patient. Kung ito ay may elevated blood pressure, 130/80. Sa Americans, high blood, stage 1 hypertension. Pero, meron kang diabetes, strong family history na may atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, may mga early nag-heart attack, nag-stroke, o pag-test ng kidney, UACR, mataas yung albumin mo sa urine. These are the patients who will now benefit for pharmacologic management.
Siguro i-maximize lang natin yung pag ng ating audience kasi ang audience natin is a mix of
professionals
and public and doctors also. Ilagay natin na, so ang elevated blood pressure at saka hypertension, yun ang magdalawang yun, dapat i-prevent and manage natin. Yung elevated blood pressure, nag-umpisa yan sa 120 systolic blood pressure, millimeters of mercury, or 80 millimeters of mercury and above, or both, no? So, hindi lang systolic blood pressure, pati diastolic blood pressure. At sa umpisa, kung nasa blood pressure ay nasa 120 to 129, lifestyle lang yan. Lifestyle medication.
Agree.
So, alam mo naman tayo, pag-discuss din natin, ano ba yung mga pagkain ng Pilipino, bakit tayo, as we grow older, bakit tayo nagde-develop ng pagtaas ng blood pressure. Next, yung 130/80, yun ay yung bagong stage 1 hypertension. Siguro sa mga susunod, si Dr. Denver, ang chair ng Hypertension Council, sabi ko, kailangan kausapin natin ng Philippine Heart Association. At tayo, magkaisa tayo na siguro medyo kailangan naman natin i-adapt according to the best evidence that we have now. Huwag natin hintayin na
mahuli tayo.
Mahuli tayo.
Agree. And it's high time na ma-update.
Yung 140/90, yan na yung bagong stage 2 hypertension. Okay? So, magkaiba kasing gamutan no, no? Pagka yung stage 1, pwede isang first line na gamot sa hypertension. At
Yes.
marami kami di-discuss kung ano yung mga accepted na
Options.
first line na
Yes.
antihypertensive. Kasi yung mga dati yung mga beta blockers, hindi na yun. Hindi na namin recommend yun. Kasi kailangan natin yung talagang tama na long-acting na gamot
Gamot.
para sa high blood. Hindi na yung mga sublingual.
Never na po natin dapat ginagawa
At pagka 140/90, pag stage 2 hypertension, ay kung pwede, dalawang klase na
Yes.
antihypertensive na magkaibang
action.
Okay.
Tama.
At kung pwede lang, yung combination na, kasi pagka single pill combination, isang tableta, dalawa ng gamot yan, it increases the adherence.
Mas madaling inumin.
Mas madaling inumin, mas
Yes.
magiging compliant ang pasyente.
Mas madaling
kasi
matandaan.
nakikita kong iba, uminom na ako kaninang umaga ng isa, sige, tanabad na, antok na ako, hindi niya inumin. Stage 2 na nga siya,
Yes.
kailangan niya ng dalawa, hindi na isa.
Siguro it's a good topic as well, no?
Yeah.
Yung practical
Correct.
management on
Right.
hypertension.
Okay.
Sige, Doc, I guess that sums up our discussion for this first episode of podcast. Just to summarize again, what's the impact of lowering the threshold? It's not medicalizing the normal, but again, it's addressing the risk of patients who are very, very high risk to develop adverse cardiovascular events. Gusto na po nating makatch itong mga pasyenteng maaaring mag-develop ng complication at magkaroon ng intervention para hindi na po umabot sa malalang estado ng hypertension, hindi na umabot sa masira ang kidney, magka-atake sa puso, magka-dementia, magka-stroke ang ating mga pasyente. Doc Bimbo.
So maraming salamat po. I think this is an important first episode ng podcast ng Philippine Society of
Yes.
Hypertension. So hopefully we will be able to increase our audience, umpisa pa lang naman ito, so that we will be able to help achieve our mission and vision ng Philippine Society of Hypertension.
Which is to raise awareness and of course control the prevalence of hypertension in the region. Maraming salamat po, and hopefully you support our next episodes of this podcast. Leave a comment, like, and share. Maraming salamat po again. This is PSH Usapang Presyon. Ako po si Dr. Chongson, kasama ko po si Doc Bimbo. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat sa inyong panonood at pakikinig.